Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys I'm going to review a Megabloks Dragon set released in 2004 as part of the Subsim Iron Raiders, and it's going to be the Raiders Sea Assault. So here's the box. As you can see, it's pretty original because it features a clear, transparent, a clear plastic part on the top of the box. And well, when you bought the set, of course, excuse me, behind the glass, behind the plastic, you will have the dragons included into the set, and you can of course see through the plastic to see the dragons behind there. So apart from that, you got the Megabloks logo, stuff like that, and here you got a picture of the set which is just put on this space, but well, you don't really need any more no more space because it's not really a big set, as you will understand quickly. For the rest, number of parts, age recognition, and I think that's all. The sides do not really feature anything interesting apart the same picture of the front of the box. Then on the back, you're going to have the 5 guys included from which armies they come, and also their name, because each guy is really unique and each guy got a unique name. Also, on this, here you will have the gimmicks of the set, which are mostly the dragons play features, in fact, because the set itself doesn't really have any big play features, by the way. Here other sets of the Iron Raiders Subsim, in fact all the sets of the Iron Raiders Subsim. And here a little sum up about what the Iron Raiders are all about. So I'm going to read that for those who do not really understand what this Subsim is about. So, the mercenary Iron Raiders are a ragtag band of deserters and criminals representing the worst of the Dragon World armies. They thrive on chaos and attack without warning in search of dragon crystals. So yeah, the Iron Raiders these black guys are mostly, in fact, soldiers from the 3 main armies of the Dragon's universe, so the Vorgan, the Draga, and the Norvagan, and they decided, of course, to desert their own armies and form a new one, called the Iron Raiders. And I think this will be all for the box. The instruction booklet, does not really feature anything interesting because it's the same thing as the box, apart from the parts list, of course, and apart from the instruction, but as you can see, it's really thin, so nothing really interesting to talk about. The only complaint I have is that the name of the guys are given, but not the name of the dragon, which was the case in the previous years, in the previous Dragon's Subsim. So, well, a little let down on this point. And now let's move on to the set, and first, of course, the minifigs. So, you're going to have 2 Norwegian guys, so which are, of course, guys from the, one of the 3 armies which appeared in the Crystal Wars Subsim. So for those who do not really know these minifigs, Megabloks Dragons minifigs, it's really simple. You have 3 things to know. Is that first, they got the same articulation as Lego's minifig, apart from the hands, which are not articulated. As you can see, the arms is just 1 mold. Then they all featured a little magnete in their body, which will come in handy for some play features, and that will be the case in this set with the dragon. And finally, they all share also the same mold for the legs, whereas the body is mostly different between the armies. And also, they all got a unique head, but that doesn't really represent well the Iron Raiders theme, because, first example, here the Norvagan included into this set are not new molds, while the heads are not new head molds, in fact, because they were already released before in the Crystal Wars theme. So, not new head, in fact, just some guys we have already seen before, but with a new name. And the same can be said for a second guy right there. So of course they all got a shield and weapon. Well, at least the Norwegian guys, because now it's time to move on to the Iron Raiders guys. So, like I said, 2 things to know about the Iron Raiders. First, the molds were already released before, so it's just a recolor, and this recolor include black and copper gold color. Well, mostly copper, but sometimes it looks like gold, so yeah, but mostly copper, as you can see. So for example, here is the guys which was excuse me for this glitch. Yes, here's the guys which was before in the Draga army, and well, now it got the Iron Raiders recoloring. And the second thing to know is that the Iron Raiders guys do not have a shield. In fact, they just have 2 weapons. So here's the first one. Then we're gonna have the second one, which also comes from the Draga, but well, the Draga army is quite strange because well, it got 2 unique molds for the bodies and the heads. As you can see, this one got a crest, whereas this one got some arms. And finally, excuse me, one Vorgan. One guy is from the Vorgans, but once again recolored. And this time this guy doesn't really have any copper color on his body, whereas this guy's got some, as you can see. And it was well painted because even if it's just black and copper, at least the paint job is done nicely, and there is not some outlining or stuff like that. Well, now it's time to also before that, let's just look at the crystal, which once again is not new but a recolor from some old crystals released in 2002. And now the dragons, and once again it's a recolor, because this mold is not new at all. So this is the old dragon mold but with 2 heads, which for example was already released in the Draga Castle in 2003 and also in some other sets, I'm sure. But of course here it's a new color, so mostly brown, black and silver, which looks pretty nice. And for those who do not know this mold, well, it's really simple. First, the 4 limbs, well, each of them got 1 point of articulation, which is just 1 point of rotation, like that. Then, of course, the mouth, well, can be opened or closed, like that. And then we got like 4 gimmicks, I guess. So the first one is this 4 studs right there to put some guys here so you can ride the dragon. The second gimmick is this seat, which is in fact a button which can be put down to flap the wings like that, to make him look like he's flying. Then the third gimmick is this chain right there with the 4 studs, which is quite useful because, well, you were supposed to put the crystals in there, and the eyes of the dragons was supposed to light up. But here, I guess the set is pretty old or maybe damaged, because the light up eyes do not work anymore. But it was supposed to do that. And the final gimmick is the magnet behind, this part is hands, excuse me, which is quite useful, of course, to attract the guys, because like I said, all of those guys got a magnet in their body, so it's quite useful, and also to attract the crystal. And that's all for this guy. So now let's move on to the more constructions element of this set, even if they are not really, well, it will be quite quick. First, the boats. So once again, we have already seen this mold previously in the Dragon's universe. It was with the Marauder's Cliff, but of course, at the time it was the Norvagen's color. Here it's the Iron Raiders colors, so this means black and copper. Then you're gonna have the mast right there, and of course the sail here, which is linked with a second part. So 3 parts. You can close it down like that. Okay, you can also break it down like that. Well, it's not really broken, it's just disassembled, and you put these things in the hole, and that's also. Notice the pins, and that's all still there is to say about this little boat, which is quite good because it's a nice addition to the Iron Raiders army. It's nice to see that they can also control, or try to control the seas. And then let's move on to this part, so the work, the work part, which is made with less than 10 parts, I guess. So first, we're going to have these 2 base plates, which are quite nice because they are recolored here, so you can see the water or the sea, and some green parts which are supposed to represent, I guess, the plants of the seas and stuff like that. So it's quite well done and quite well detailed. Then you're going to have this big blocky part, which once again got really a nice and unique paint job to really show you all the details of the work part. Then you're going to have a little ladder, which is, of course, even if it's really just 1 part linked right there, at least it's there, and so this means the guys do not have to climb the work by themselves. And finally, you got like a 6 part up there, so there's 2 parts which are not really new, but new recolor in white, which looks pretty good, and then 2 torch right there. So nothing really to talk about, and that's all, seriously. Also notice that you can, if you put this part off, you can move these things between, right there. So it adds to the overall playability. And that's all, guys. That's all for this set. So I guess it's time to do a little sum up. So I'm going to link all the guys right there, and then I will do a little sum up. So here's the work part with the two Nova games. Then we're gonna have the boat with, well, I'm going to put two Iron Raiders. I'm going to put the last one right there. And finally, you got the dragon right here. Exact. And here you got the Raiders Sea Assault set complete. So yes, if you want a sum up, I will not really make a traditional sum up. So I'm going to say one thing. I think it's really a great set for starters. Yes, it's really a great starter pack because in fact it's got all you need from the Dragon's universe. So let's recap seriously. First, you got the warriors. You got like 5 warriors, and you got two, each of them. Well, these 5 warriors represent 2 different armies. So this means you can make them fight each other. So that's quite cool. Then you got the dragons, of course. Well, it's one of the big part of the dragons theme, of course. So you got the dragons, which even if it's not the best, at least it works quite nice. Then you got, I'm going to say a vehicle with the boat, which is quite rare in the Dragon's universe, by the way, because there isn't really tons of bots released. Well, I talk about, of course, little bot, not the big one, like the Man of War or stuff like that. So you got a bot, and then you got a work part, which is quite useful to make the guys fight on it. So in fact, you get like, well, 4 elements, if I'm correct, 4 elements, which are really what are the Dragon's theme. In fact, all these elements can be found throughout the set of the Dragon's theme, and here they are all in one only set. And that's why I think this set is really cool, because it was quite cheap, and also it got really all you need to begin to collect the Dragon's theme. So it's really a nice starter pack, but of course it's got its drawbacks. So the drawbacks is that it's not really full of details or really complex parts. Like I said, even if you got each of these parts, they really work together quite well, but when you take each of these elements separately, it doesn't really work that way. So first, the minifigs are quite cool, I have to admit. The only problem I have with the minifigs is that the heads are not new molds. So I know Megabloks released really tons of molds with the Crystal Wars theme, but well, that's a little drawback, but not really a big one. Then you got the bot, which is quite cool, but once again quite simple also, nothing really fancy right there. You got the dragons, like I said, it's an old dragon, so in terms of articulation, it might not be the best dragons released right there. And finally the work part, which is of course which works, which is quite original, but once again it's not really full detailed, or not really tons of parts. Well, it could have been a little better. So in fact, like I said, all these elements are not really impressive if you take them one by one, but if you take the set in all, when you find it's really a great set for starters. So that will be all I have to say for this set, guys. So seriously, great starter pack, great starter set for me. But once again, do not expect like 30 minutes of construction or stuff like that. It will be really quick, it's really simple, but at least it works. It's a nice playset. Of course, there is better playsets out there, but they cost more money. So for now, I think it's a pretty good playset on its own. Features 2 armies, all the elements you need to begin to collect or play with the Megabloks Dragons theme. So really, I can advise you if you do not have any bigger set, I guess. And even if you have some bigger set, it's still nice to have some Iron Raider set to complete your army and to have these 2 elements, because the bots really are really well in the Dragon's universe, plus this work part, which is quite unique also in the Dragons, if you look at the other Dragons sets. And that will be all, guys, for this review. So hope you enjoy this review, hope you enjoy this set. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, opinion, feel free to post all of them in the comments section of this video. I will happily answer them. And that said, that's all, guys. So see you later for another video review. Bye.